Hello Pisces, Pisces rising and Pisces moon people. This is your weekly astrological and card horoscope for the week starting October 2nd, 2017. And a quick reminder for all of you out there, if you ever want to get an appointment with me, you can always go to my website, integrativemysticism.com. So what is going on with your astrology this week? Well, it's all about Venus, planet of love, harmony, and affection, currently moving through your 7th house, your closest one-on-one relationships. That's your boyfriend, girlfriend, BFF, business partner, husband, wife, roommate, all the people you spend your closest one-on-one time with. And on Tuesday, Venus is forming a lovely trine to Pluto, currently in your 11th house of friendships and social networking. And it does look like Venus is showing up here with a partnership opportunity to maybe even turn a friendship into a partnership of some kind, whether it's a romantic partnership or a financial partnership. This is actually greasing the wheels for whatever adventure this is going to be, because when Venus gets together with Pluto, we have promises being made that will be kept, pacts being made that will be honored. And with Venus in the 7th house, this can also be a great time for you and perhaps your partner, because you're noticing your partner finally finding him or herself at home in your friendship circle with one of your closest friends, and this can also be a great way to, again, strengthen our relationship. So bonds are being forged, more roots getting planted. Later on in the week, on Thursday, we've got Venus and Mars in a tight conjunction in that 7th house of partnerships. And when Venus and Mars come together, it's a very powerful magnetic chemistry, and this can actually attract new people into your life that are looking for that long-term one-on-one connection. This is also a very powerful chemistry, though, on all levels, not just romantic and sensual. This could indicate the perfect person to fit the perfect role, whether, again, it's a business partnership even, or a roommate situation. We have that chemistry on lock. Now, the thing about this, though, if this does draw a romantic relationship, or it does affect a romantic partnership in a way that really, gets the fires burning, it sets the bar really, really high in the beginning. So it doesn't have a choice but to come down and normalize at some point. And I've noticed that sometimes when people have Venus and Mars conjunct in their astrology charts, or just in, it's a transit going on, the come down from that high can almost feel like a crash. Be careful with that, because it's still a good thing that continues to be a good thing even as it goes back into balancing out, alright? Just an important thing to remember in the days and weeks to follow this lovely opportunity. So what's going on with your cards then this week? Well, for your spiritual advice, we do have the card of the dog. And the dog does talk about a focus on loyalty, but loyalty in action. And actually giving back this week. A lot of you Pisces people are on notice to pay attention to, I guess you could say, your closest friends and your relatives, your partners, your kids, all of that. The people who have shown their loyalty. And gratitude through action is, so much better than gratitude in esteem, okay? And gratitude in action doesn't mean you have to go buy somebody a gift. It just indicates a need to return that favor, to feed and support that loyalty, with some good positive reinforcement. And, the dog is talking about, well, is there somebody in our life that, maybe we haven't been giving enough credit to? Sometimes we accidentally do it. Maybe we already feel guilty for it. When it comes to, say, again, a partner, a friend, the dog is talking about a need to give that person or that energy or that relationship top priority this week. Because, again, gratitude in action keeps the good going. It stretches the duration of a good thing. It's when we, not necessarily take things for granted, but it's when we simply keep our appreciation to ourselves that, a lot of people aren't going to take that for granted, and therefore the message may not come across. So this week we want to make sure that people do get that message, okay? For your Earth sector, when it comes to your work and finances, we do have the 8 of Swords reversed. And this can indicate good news, especially when it comes to freedom from some kind of, I guess you could say, trap, or maybe some kind of glass ceiling or some kind of limitation that's been imposed on you as it relates to your earnings or your employment situation. This could be really good news if there was something, bunching you up, somebody, or, perhaps even a policy or a rule or something standing in your way. The Eight of Swords reversed says the road is being cleared of that debris this week. This could actually indicate a fast recovery from time lost, whether it's time lost waiting for a new job, or time lost waiting for extra money to come in, or time lost waiting for a promotion. But the Eight of Swords reversed is saying, we are free and clear as this week proceeds and goes on into the month of October. So all of this energy is really, really working on trying to, again, how do we get you back, out of a holding pattern, so to speak, because some people can stay there for way too long, and sometimes you can be forced to stay there for way too long. And that's the nice thing about the Eight of Swords reversed, saying no more. For your communications with air, when it comes to your friends, your relatives, and the others in your life, we do have the Four of Wands reversed. And the Four of Wands reversed is not a bad card when it's reversed, just like how the Eight of Swords reversed is not a bad card when it's reversed. And the Four of Wands reversed does talk about a friend or a relative and you coming together. There seems to be some kind of planning of some kind of either big event or building up to a project with a huge payoff this week, whether it's proposed and put on the table this week or we are approaching the finish line this week. The Four of Wands reversed says that we're getting some kind of news of something turning out better than we had actually projected onto the situation. And with the Four of Wands reversed, this could also indicate good news, especially if you have been waiting for the completion of something that you put out there with a friend or a relative. This may actually be a situation where, maybe you left something in his or her hands. They're going to come back with something, much better than they had originally, I guess you could say, pitched to you in the first place. For your challenge this week with fire, we have the Magician card reversed. And be careful this week, because the Magician card reversed says there could be some fakers out there. Fakers, I mean posers. Usually with the Magician card reversed, you may actually be finding yourself moving in circles where people are making a lot of promises they can't keep. Making a lot of, I guess you could say, how do I phrase it? Almost trying to paint themselves as bigger and more badass than they really are. And with the Magician card reversed as a challenge, sometimes, we do get sucked into it. We live in a time where appearance and optics and impressions mean way, way more than they probably should, but they do mean way more. And with the Magician card reversed, it's very important to actually pay attention that somebody trying to make an impression doesn't mean they have a lot to offer. These days it's like you turn on TV and it's like, well, this person tried really, really hard to impress me, so I know they're hungry and I know they're ambitious. Not true. Not true. Sometimes, and believe me, I've even had this myself, working with venues and all kinds of things. Sometimes people are trying to make that impression. They're really good at that first impression, and everything else is just terrible. So, with the Magician card reversed, just don't let yourself, bite that bait, okay? Just keep that in mind. Rant over. For your emotions with water and your romantic life, we do have the Four of Pentacles reversed. Another good reversed card. So even though all these cards are reversed, 3 out of 4 of them are actually really good. And the Four of Pentacles reversed indicates doors opening up and walls coming down. Okay, if you have been noticing a crush or a partner kind of withholding a little bit, whether it's withholding time, withholding energy, they're not necessarily as open, or they're not being as forthright, or maybe we've been feeling like they're kind of keeping something to themselves, this is the week where we have them opening up and, and kind of letting the cat out of the bag. And the Four of Pentacles reversed is basically saying this is, a time where everyone's starting to feel more secure in opening and sharing whatever they've been holding back. Now, honestly, sometimes people hold back for a lot more reasons than the fact that, they just feel like holding back. So I would not hold my partner, I wouldn't hold their feet over the fire because of the fact that they did. The fact that they're opening up and sharing now, this is what's good. You may also be having some information come out regarding somebody. You may be finding out about a crush or an opportunity to embark on a relationship, or perhaps that opportunity is suddenly available and on the market for you. So keep an eye out for that as well. So that is your horoscope, Pisces. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And of course, if you ever want to get a session with me, you can always follow the links below or go to integrativemysticism.com.